Guys, today in the studio, I have Ian Martin, and I am so excited. He is a certified raw vegan living foods chef. You're going to find out what that means if you don't know what it means. He is the co-founder of Misha's Kind Foods. In short, in a very short time, he has established itself to be the best dairy-free cheese on the market. I'm not a vegan, but it is amazing. I was floored when I tried it. It is delicious. Not only is it delicious, but it's lactose-free, gluten-free, paleo, keto, kosher, and 100% vegan. Let me tell you, it is the best tasting spread I have tried in a long time. That's why I have him on the show. I can't wait to get the scoop from him. Ian Martin, the big cheese himself, is here in the studio with us. Hello, chef.
Hello. Wow, what an amazing intro. I feel important.
Oh, you are. Let me tell you, because I am a cheese lover. And one of the reasons why I can't be a vegan is like I can't give up cheese.
Yeah.
And I'm also gluten-free. So I'm always, it's a new thing for me being gluten-free. And I first want to, before we can get into this, I want to talk about how I met you because it's really funny. So the week before I met you, I was talking to Nicola about, she knows everything vegan. She's a vegan. And I was like, oh, you got this. I tried this vegan spread. Oh my God, it's so delicious. Like I'm dying. It has a lox flavor. And I tried the lox first. And she's like, oh yeah, I probably know about it. And I'm like, oh, so I showed her a picture. And she's like, I don't know about it. And I'm like, you don't know about it? You've got to try it. So I'm the type of person that when I like something, I will talk about it.
Awesome.
With everybody.
Okay.
So then next week I go in to Whole Foods and I have no makeup. I have my beanie on. I am in sweats. I am at 100 and I am aggressive when I see you. And I'm like, oh, Misha's. I go, I'm obsessed with this. And you were like, oh, well, I'm the founder. And I was like, what? Oh my God. I put you on story. I have blasted you. I just talked about you. You got to come on my show. And you were very nice. And I was like, then I went to go get some stuff. And then I went back and I said, I have this spot available. Do you want to do it? And you're like, oh, let me. So Nicola, I felt like I was so like, but I'm so excited about this product. And awesome. I'm so glad that you're here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm really happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me and getting me down here. And, great to hang out with the ladies.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little vegan sandwich.
Yeah. Exactly.
So could you tell us a little bit about your background as a chef and, how that started for you?
Well,
have you always been a vegan?
I have been a vegan for 10 years now.
Okay.
I started off as a raw vegan for almost 2 years.
Okay.
And that's pretty
hardcore.
Yeah, it's pretty hardcore. I felt great. Towards the end, I started to feel not as great because now when I look back, I was like, okay, I was doing some things wrong.
Right.
But anyway, started chefing. Well, I started preparing meals for friends when I was raw vegan. I spent a lot of time trying to imitate doing what they call the gourmet raw vegan, which is like hamburgers, pizzas, like all the equivalent comfort foods in the vegan. That's what the gourmet is, rather than just salads. So
which is what turns people off, I think, too, is that they don't realize that there is a gourmet probably way of eating it, right? Yes,
exactly. So I started doing that, and friends would try my stuff, and they were like, wow, this is really good, really good. And I thought, okay, well, cool. After hearing it a bunch of times, and also being a professional musician, which I've been that for over 25 years.
You play bass, right?
I play bass, yes.
Went to Berkeley?
Yeah, I went to Berkeley College of Music in Boston. Not Berkeley, California.
Right.
So I had done a session with Barbra Streisand.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah. And 6 weeks later, I got another call for something. And I was like, I'm sure you've heard that the music industry has changed a lot.
Oh, yeah. A lot.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, you know what? It would be wise, seeing that I found something else that I'm passionate about, just why not pursue it and see where it could go. And that was kind of the beginning of my foray into vegan food.
Wow, that's such a cool story. So it happened after you changed. So without you even knowing, your second calling
Yeah.
came out of a decision you made
Yes.
just to get healthier? Is that why you
To
became?
get healthier, yeah. There was a birthday that, that age.
Yes.
heard.
I said that birthday is the day you get the memo, right?
Right,
You get a
right,
memo
right,
that
right.
says, guess what?
Things have changed.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Things are changing.
Yeah, exactly.
I sent my memo back.
Yeah. Yeah, that happened, and I read something. It was like we're 100% living. We eat 90% dead food
Wow.
and 10% living. What would happen if you change the ratio? And I was like, this actually makes a lot of intuitive sense.
Right.
Because if depending on the doctor, meat is the best thing in the world.
Right.
Meat is the worst thing in the world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it just kind of made sense to me, and I explored that. That's what kind of made the change, and I wanted to feel better, and all of those things. So I came to veganism from the plant-based side, from the nutrition side, and then all of the other things kind of happened. I was like, wow, that's a cat, and that's a pig, and it has a family, and it wants to live, and that kind of came after.
Right.
So it started there. There was a genius by the name of Giuliano Brotman who had a place called Planet Raw many years ago.
Okay.
And I went there when I tried raw food before I knew what it was, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. So he had a certification program that I went through. And then Matthew Kenny came to town. I don't know if you've heard of him, but he's another leader in like the raw food world.
Okay.
He had a restaurant called Make. And the executive chef at the time was a bass player as well as a chef. So I was there for a few months doing well in pastries, and it was going well. And then I got a call that I couldn't take from music. And I was like, you know what? I really love music. And because I thought that I was going to kind of put it on the back burner. And then I realized I couldn't do it because it's a part of me. And so I said, I think I might have to do something else. And he said, well, we really like your work ethic. We like what you're doing here. We need somebody to do chocolate and cheese. Would you be interested?
My two favorite things.
Right, exactly.
That was a no-brainer.
Yeah, exactly. And then he said, you can actually do it whenever you want. You can come after your gigs. As long as it's done by a certain time, make your own schedule.
Oh
And I
my
was like,
God.
yeah.
What an amazing
It
opportunity.
was an amazing opportunity, and I still thankful for that. And so the chocolate never happened. But the cheese happened. So I was, they kind of showed me some things, and I had been doing things before, but I wasn't sure because I was just kind of, on the internet reading books. And I realized I wasn't very far off, but they started me down a path, and then I kind of just took it to where it is now.
Well, that's true. Artistry, though, too. I think when you're an artist, whether it's music, it translates into food, translates into a lot of different. There's such a big array of art, right?
Yes.
And so food is one of those. Yeah. And I gotta say, I'm so glad that you went into the cheese part of it because it's amazing. It's like. My niece is a vegan, and for Thanksgiving she came over and she, brought her. Vegan turkey and everything was vegan, and some of the cheeses that I tried I was like it just doesn't taste like, and I'm like, that's really hard for me to give up because I love it. I can't eat it a lot, but when I do, I really want to enjoy it. And the first one that I tried was the lox, and it tastes like lox. Like, my husband is Jewish, and I made him try it. And he said, oh, this is good. And he's not a vegan, but he was like, really, really good. Yeah. So you've also worked with big, correct me if I'm wrong, with big, giant companies that are in the raw and vegan industry also, correct?
I mean, other than the restaurants that I worked at,
right.
That's about it for now.
But they were like trailblazers, and
absolutely.
in that bringing awareness to a new way of eating.
Absolutely, yes.
So that you got a lot of your inspiration from there too.
Yes, I absolutely did.
So let me ask you. You called it Misha's.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know the answer, but I want you to explain. Like, where did you come up with that name?
Well, my son is named Misha. His mother is Jewish, and so
No
Misha's
wonder
Canned
you made the
Foods.
locks.
I made the locks, and also, I really wanted to kind of honor that side of him and make it a kosher product
Right.
as well. And his mother and I aren't together at the time, but my vision was to also make it a different type of family business in a way.
Right.
So that it would be kind of represented on all sides. So that's where Misha's kind of came in. The name for Misha's Kind Foods came in.
Is he also a vegan?
He is. He's been a vegan since birth.
And what does he think about your
He doesn't like it.
what?
That's not true, really.
He's 6 years old.
None of.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. He doesn't have like the
sophisticated.
sophisticated palate.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
I love the kind foods, though. I think,
Yes.
especially wrapped in with your son's name. I think it just gives such love. Like I feel like you can feel love from the product. I haven't tried it yet, which, by the way, I think I'm going to jump in when you guys are talking. But like, I think it's. To me, that is what veganism is, because I also started, in one route, and then it holistically becomes environmental and animal and all. Like, I think you can't just. I mean, maybe you can, but the kind, I think, encapsulates all of that.
Yes.
Like who you feel like as a human being in the world. So I love that.
Yeah, well, for us, me and my partner, we kind of our mission statement is, kind for the planet, kind to your body, and kind to your pocketbook. So if there is a single mother, like we wanted to make a product that is a gourmet product, but at a very reasonable price. So we want everybody to be able to have something that is healthy, and also that is something that's good for them. Especially in the African American community, a lot of communities, but especially us, we're high in a lot of illnesses that can be prevented just with diet changes. And
fast food is the best way because it's the cheapest, and so McDonald's and things like that are high in the diets.
exactly.
So that's good. This is the lower barrier of entry. Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I can relate to that because being Latina, just as well as the African American community, there's everything is fried.
Yes.
It's a lot of meat consumption, and it becomes the social thing is around food. And so, like, personally, I've had to make a lot of changes because I have high cholesterol, and not because of what I eat, but just hereditary. And I think as a Latina, there is some illnesses that you're already predisposed to. Nicola was talking to me about certain hashtags that she's noticed that you've used. And you want to talk a little bit more about that, Nikki?
Well, I think it was just what you had even said. You have the black owned and black company, and I was just wondering because I'm from Texas, and so I find that it was a very harsh judgment and sort of hard to get the idea of veganism sort of at least 10 years ago into the mainstream Texas way of thinking. So I was wondering how is veganism in the black community, and also how important is it that you have those hashtags to support the black owned companies?
Well, it's definitely like everything else. It's just ramped up, and the awareness is there, and the acceptance is there. It kind of ties me on to another point where veganism now, when I became vegan, veganism was healthy for sure.
Right.
Now veganism is more of like do no harm. So when I think of it now, even though there's more acceptance, we still kind of have to watch some of the pseudo imitations that we're making.
You can just replace Veggie Grill or something, with McDonald's.
Exactly. But even still, that there's more options that makes it much better. Like, now from the raw world, I decided that there would be no starches, no fillers.
That's...
You know what I'm saying? So I've kind of incorporated the raw vegan techniques of drying herbs ourselves, blending them up, using them, and still keeping it very, very clean without any
Processed anything.
So
it's plant-based definition.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, because I read that you have no vegetable oils, no soy, no fillers, no starches, and no yeast.
Right.
Amazing.
So, I mean, that is amazing. And how would you, especially being a chef, if people wanted to make that change? I was reading your bio, and you were saying that a little at a time is probably the best way to do it, right? And so that you're not feeling like overwhelmed, because even just like when I ate gluten-free, it's not anywhere close to vegan, but you know, when I think of going vegan, I feel overwhelmed. Like, what am I going to eat? You know, what do I don't really know. So what advice can you give to people that are thinking like maybe down the road they'd like to become vegan? And what's the difference between raw vegan and vegan for those that aren't sure, that don't know, or living foods?
Right. Well, starting with raw vegan, raw vegan is anything that has not been cooked above 118 degrees for a period of time.
Okay.
Because the philosophy is that the enzymes in your food are still alive and you want to keep them intact. So you can have warm food, but it wouldn't be cooked. So also that eliminates a lot of food when you become a raw vegan. So you're not doing starches of, rice, you're not doing bread. You just anything, it's pretty much fruits, vegetables, greens, sprouted grains. And I think that's raw vegan.
Was that harsh on your system when you did it? I know you said you did it for a couple of years.
No, what happened for me, I think I was having I was getting too many calories from fat, because also nuts and seeds.
Nuts, yeah.
So you would use nuts as the basis for a lot of things.
Right.
So you want to definitely you don't want to have so much nuts.
Yeah.
You want to have a lot of fresh greens, a lot of vegetables.
Okay.
Veganism and vegan is just anything that doesn't come from an animal source. Pretty much.
Right.
So an Oreo is vegan, a Twinkie's vegan, but you try a diet of Oreos and Twinkies, and we're gonna have other problems.
Right. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So as far as telling somebody who wants to get into it, be kind to yourself. You've been living for how many years living a certain way, eating a certain way. All of a sudden you say, I'm going to become vegan. It's not going to happen for most people where you're going to be right all of the time. Just start by substituting, let's say if you're going to, a piece of chicken, if you want, do some beans. Do some tofu from time to time. You don't want to make that staple. The best rule of thumb, if it comes out of the ground in that state, go to town.
Okay. All right.
Because your body will know exactly what to do with an avocado with its constitution and how to break it down. It doesn't necessarily know what to do with a burger that's, made in a lab.
Right.
It might be a better option health-wise, which is still debatable, but one thing, your body knows what to do with whole foods that come out of the earth. So.
And do you feel like a humongous difference in the way, like, a lot of people say you don't get enough protein when you're a vegan. What do you say to that?
I say, again.
Bullshit! I call bullshit. Go ahead, say it.
No,
It's so funny.
empirical evidence. Like, when do we need protein, they say, for us to grow, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So, okay, think of a time when you needed protein the most in your life, when you were a baby.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you were growing exponentially from 0 to like 3,
Yeah.
or from 0 to 2. How much protein is in a mother's milk? If we need protein, you'd think that it's upwards of 50%.
Yeah.
It's like 11%.
Right.
So if you only need 11% to not only survive, but thrive when you are at growing, what makes you think you need 0.75 grams of protein per body weight? It's just not true.
My gynecologist, who, we do a lot of blood work for hormones, cholesterol, and all that. And she's been preaching to me for a long time now about becoming a vegan. And she's like, these high protein shakes that people are doing are horrible for your body, because your body cannot process all that protein. So everything is like high protein, high protein. It's like the big buzzword.
Yeah.
And really it's just killing your organs.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm not saying that eating meat, you shouldn't eat meat, because everybody's got to, I eat, meat. I don't eat red meat, but I eat chicken. But I have days that now I'm doing vegan days.
Right.
And I'm really kind of noticing, I've had stomach issues my whole life. And I've noticed that I don't have those issues anymore. Yeah. And I'm not getting food poisoning,
Exactly.
and all of that stuff that comes along with everything that. So I am absolutely loving this, and now we have to dig in.
Oh yeah.
So we're
I'll
try
open it while
this.
you
Yeah.
continue. But I do also I would like to actually address the how important is it for those hashtags that you had, the black owned company and things like that, like, because I think that's such an amazing thing.
Yes.
to
Supporting
share,
your
to support the
community.
community.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we want to. Part of our mission, is again, we're pricing it so that people who don't have a lot of money can be a part of it, and we also, when we're able, start to give back to the community in different ways. That will be through programs, education, and there's not we're working on that. We're actually talking with a few people right now and seeing different ways that we can do that. Well, no, I was going to say something I shouldn't say yet.
Not yet.
Say yet.
But let us know
Excited.
when you
Yes,
do
but
know,
definitely,
and we can help share too.
Absolutely.
And that goes with
absolutely.
your branding of Kind Foods, which is giving back and bringing awareness. And I think that in itself is like, I'm glad that I'm sure you're a badass bass player, which I wish I would have asked you to bring it today. Like have
We'll
you
have to go
do
see
a
you
little
in-
jam.
Yeah, so I play.
Do you still play out?
Yeah, I'm playing this weekend, and I'm going to Oakland on Saturday with this incredible artist named Cy Smith.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I'll be back on Sunday to do the market, and then
You do a lot of farmers market every weekend, right?
Yeah.
Like multiple ones.
Yes, I do. We do 3 on Sunday, 2 on Saturday.
That's a lot of work.
Yes, it's
It's a long morning and day.
No, but I have an amazing partner who really handles. Well, I have an amazing team now.
Yeah.
There's a team.
Gotta
of us.
have a team now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and they're just everybody. Kicks ass every
So
week,
cool.
and they help when I'm losing my mind. And yeah.
Well,
it's great.
I'm just glad you're here and it didn't scare you away because, like I said, I had a few cups of coffee and I was I told Nikki I told Nicole I was
texted
like
me afterwards,
I was
too.
aggressive. I was like, you got to come to the show. No.
Guess who I just saw?
I love it.
Well, we're gonna try
such
this,
a fan.
and then we're gonna wrap up. Before we wrap up, we want to play a little game with you, and it's called Never Have I Ever. But
Okay.
first, we munch.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
Now,
so let's.
you opened the spicy one.
I did. I opened the spicy one
Yes.
specifically. Do you want to talk about what the different flavors are?
Yes, can you
Sure.
tell us as we're opening? Will you
Yes.
talk to us
I
about
did
the
it
flavors?
because I'm
Absolutely.
from Texas.
Okay.
So I did. I went for it.
Okay.
Also because of the 3 different ingredients, which I find
Oh,
so
yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
I looked it up today. It's such an interesting concoction. Okay, I'll let you take it from here.
So that one, we're getting our proper sleeve. It's coming. It's coming in a couple of weeks. That is the black truffle.
Yeah, never have I ever gotten excited on a podcast. That was her face.
Vegan food.
Right.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so no, that's our black truffle, truffle infused olive oil, rather than synthetic. It is not a subtle truffle flavor. It is.
Is there such thing as a subtle truffle?
I've found that there is.
There is?
Yes, I've found that you try something, you say truffle, and you're like, "Where's the truffle flavor?" But that is there.
Okay, am I lying?
That is insane.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh, you know what? You were saying something about other vegan cheeses. So at our Mar Vista market, and I have to get my my blackboard back.
Right.
We have a sign that says "vegan cheese that doesn't suck."
That's one of your hashtags too, like one of your main companies. I love that.
Exactly, and it's tongue in cheek. It's not pointing anybody out, but the main.
But it's true.
It's true.
We believe so, and a lot of people won't become vegan because of cheese. They're like, the cheese game is lacking, and I just say, hey, we know. I feel your pain.
Suck. They taste like
so-
Play-Doh is the word that I use for a few of, and like I will even eat it because
Right.
I've sort of become unfortunately accustomed.
Yes.
But I shouldn't have to become accustomed to something that I don't enjoy.
Right.
But it tastes like Play-Doh. I think.
There's.
I saw you had some pictures of this on pizzas, like you made
Yes.
homemade pizzas, and I was like, wouldn't this be an amazing spread to like have a crust, make your own crust, and
Tell us the flavors you
yes.
have.
Okay,
How is
so
it spicy?
That one
was-
is spicy.
yes, it is.
You were right.
Yes, and this one actually,
good.
this batch happened to be a little spicier than normal.
I like it
Okay.
because of the third ingredient, which I found very surprising.
Okay, nice.
But you can
So
tell that.
yeah, so that one, what you had is called 7.5. It's jalapeno habanero, it's smoked paprika, and strawberries.
Strawberries.
Ooh, I want to try that.
Yes,
It's
yes,
so
yes.
good. It's got a kick though.
It's got a kick though. So just let you know. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then right here, this is Joy. It's jalapeno oregano thyme.
That
It's
I might have
de-seeded
to
jalapeno. So it's just got a little bit of warmth at the end.
I love it. A little back
You
bite.
okay?
I'm crunching. Oh yeah, it's spicy, but it's good.
This is okay. And then
And
the
then
lox.
next to that is the lox, which is salt roasted carrots as the salmon component,
Ooh.
Try it.
Yeah, I might.
along with 3 different types of seaweeds for the minerals and the sea flavor, capers and dill.
Come on.
So it's kind of painting by dots. I just give the dots and your mind kind of fills out the rest.
Did you make all of the did you start with lox and let's say you did this and you're like, oh, it's not there yet. And so you were sort of figuring it out as you were going?
Yes, that one. Which one? One of the first ones I think might have been jalapeno thyme. Well, this is an interesting story too. I started off doing rounds actually. My partner and I. Well, I started making the round cheeses.
Like hard cheeses?
Like hard
Right,
cheeses,
yeah.
exactly. And we were going into the market, and I was like, you know what? We should probably do some spreads. So I'll just do a couple spreads.
I love a good spread.
Yeah. And then,
That's what she said.
but then I'm leaving it alone.
I'm sorry. It's best.
And then our fridge broke down that we aged the cheese in. So I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll just do some more spreads. And then I did it. I was like, wait, you mean this can be done in 36 hours as opposed to 3.5 weeks? I think I want to do spreads.
Wow.
So So then I just I converted a couple of the rounds, the black truffle and the smoked cheddar, into spreads because people wanted that one, and that's how it kind of it was born. We're gonna get back to rounds once we have our processes and everything in place, but yeah, that's how we came to spreads.
Good. My sister still is a pescatarian, so she'll still do she likes her lox and her cream cheese, but she would do that instead, and that would make me very happy.
But as you were saying, most of the people who enjoy this aren't vegan. They are plant-based. They just like the taste of it, and to me that's the highest compliment.
It's the biggest.
Because vegans, we didn't have a lot of choices for good, but you do. You can eat whatever you want.
Right.
And when they say, and a lot of times they'll walk by, they'll see the sign, they'll chuckle, they'll go, okay, let me try it, and then they taste it and they go,
Oh.
wow, this is actually really good, and I'm happy.
Cheese that doesn't suck.
It's better than good. Let me and then I'll end with this is I found it just because I had to eat gluten free and I was trying to try vegan days and I went to Whole Foods and I overheard some lady go, "Oh, I tried this at the farmer's market. It's really good." And I was like, So I got the lox one first. And then the day I saw you, I actually had come back for more flavors.
Love it.
So
Yes.
all right, Ian, play a little game with us.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And then it's called Never Have I Ever. So take one and pass it on.
I'm sure I have. Just,
Thank you. You just hold it up like that all the time.
Okay. So, Nikki, you go first.
Okay. Mine are not so saucy.
okay.
That's why we start
Lord.
gentle.
Okay.
Okay, I'll start with, let's see. Okay, never have I ever lied to someone and actually snuck them vegan food instead of regular food. So I guess to a non-vegan. That you didn't tell them it was vegan. Yeah.
I haven't.
You haven't?
No.
You haven't?
Well, you know what? No. I just didn't say anything once.
Okay, so by omission.
By omission.
Okay.
I did that to my mother.
Okay.
And then did you tell her after?
No. I didn't.
But did she love it?
She enjoyed it.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
She did.
I did it with Aiden, my son.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so here's never have I ever sent someone a sexy selfie.
Oh.
Oh.
Never have.
Never?
Never.
We bad girls.
Yeah. No. I've had them been sent to me,
Okay,
but
maybe sent or received. Then.
yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't.
He's like, I don't have to. They
Yeah.
just-
Oh
they
no.
just find me.
I'm just like, once you take a picture and it's out there, it's out there.
It's a bad idea.
Right.
I'm like,
Okay.
Yeah. And by the way, never send pictures like that to Shutterfly and then give them, because that's what I did. So now the guy at Shutterfly, he's like, I got this. Sometimes you got to learn the hard way.
Hey,
Oh, the carpet matches the drapes.
Look at that. Look at this girl. Now I have her address too.
Right.
Okay. Never have I ever cried like a little schoolgirl at animal cruelty videos. No? I thought I would get you on that one.
Yeah, no.
They're so tough.
I haven't. I felt like upset,
Yeah.
but I haven't cried like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I just get upset.
Yeah.
It really upsets me because like you're taking advantage of an animal that can't stick up for itself.
Right. Oh, especially away from its mama.
Yeah.
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 Okay, sorry.
You guys are sensitive. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I still eat animal, and I've cried still. It's terrible, but.
No, it's not. It's your choice.
Okay, so here we go. Never have I ever danced on a table or a bar.
Oh, I've never done that.
Okay.
Okay, Ian, you're making us look bad.
I know, and you're the one that was like, I'm just going to say I have everything.
Yeah.
How do we get him?
But
You're a musician. I don't know if I'm
am.
believing you right now.
No, I am. It's true. But I don't dance. Like you can ask anyone. I just don't because
Don't dance.
because I play music. So I can fake it with my bass.
Okay.
But to get out on the dance floor, it's
Okay.
like no.
You don't dance at all?
I have danced at one time when we were in London. We went to this wine bar, and it was playing only old school and reggae, and I.
You got to dance to reggae.
I was like, I play reggae every week, but
You
that's a
do.
whole other thing.
There you
So,
go.
yeah.
It's in
So
your
we just
blood.
got to play reggae.
Yeah.
That's
But just
nice.
not on the table or the bar,
Okay.
and I don't drink. So
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that the drinking part always is what gets you to
yes,
the bar or the table.
Bad decisions.
yeah,
Okay,
I've seen it.
your
Okay.
turn, Nikki.
Well, no, mine. I mean, one of mine was about dancing. I'll just say, okay, then this is boring, but accidentally eaten meat since you've been vegan.
I have, but I didn't. I don't think I ate it, like because I can kind of tell.
Yeah.
So I thought, this is not vegan.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Accidentally
happened.
mouthed
it
meat.
actually happened last night. I went to a friend's housewarming party, and it was cauliflower wings, but they didn't realize it was just breaded cauliflower, so it was gluten-free. It was actually chicken that was breaded in cauliflower. And
Interesting.
they didn't know, and I
didn't
was like,
know.
okay, it's fine. It's cool.
All right, so last one.
Okay.
Let's get him, Elizabeth.
Yes,
Yeah,
Come on,
I don't
Elizabeth.
know. I have one
gonna
that's
get me.
really salty and one that's
Go
not so
salt-
salty.
Salty.
Never have I ever walked in on someone having sex by mistake. Finally. Never?
So, I don't. I mean, it was always purposefully. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. What's going on here, Mom?
No, one time it was traumatic. It was mom and dad.
It
that
was.
Me
traumatic.
too.
That was traumatic.
We played a game that what's your first? And she asked me, she's like, what was your first time you've ever seen a penis? And I was like, I walked in on my mom and she was like, I was not expecting that
I
answer.
was not expecting that.
It was
So
like
you too.
traumatizing.
Yeah, well, actually, you know what? I really wasn't traumatized. I was 17 years old, and I walked in. My dad's on top of my mom doing this thing, and I kind of just chuckled because I was like, you know what? You guys have been married for so long, and
Yeah.
you're still going like bunny rabbits. It's cool.
I
Good for you
cried.
guys.
I cried.
How old were you?
I was really young.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
Okay.
I was traumatized. I cried and then I was like, I'm gonna get in trouble. I
What
should
are you
have knocked.
doing? What are you
I
doing?
knock all the time now.
That was so funny.
Oh my god.
No, but
Well,
when it's not your parents, it can kind of be interesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So this is a multiple I have.
Multiple answer. I like it. We finally got a little salty.
Well
at the
done. That was you, Elizabeth.
end. Ian,
Nice.
thank you so much for coming and doing
thanks
this.
for having me. This was fun.
Please let us know where you're playing. Let us know when you're doing the rounds. Let us know when you want to come back. And we're going to give you a shout out. I want everybody to find out about Misha's Kind Foods because they are amazing.
Is it going nationwide at all?
It will.
Okay.
We
You're
will.
rolling it out. But right now it's just here in Southern California.
LA. It's Southern California. And then we're going to do regions. And we have to be careful how quick we're growing because we're actually growing pretty quick.
Yeah, and you have to.
Yeah, but we have to watch that because you can get yourself into a lot of trouble.
You can.
So,
You can. One more thing. Can you give everybody your social media handles and where they can find Misha's Kind Foods?
So Misha's Kind Foods is the website, Misha's Kind Foods.
It's MISHASKIND. Without the voice crack, sorry.
Okay.
Without the puberty.
Misha's Kind Foods. Also on IG, Misha's Kind Foods. If you want to follow me personally, I'm at Bo Slap Pluck. So these are, and I got this before I realized just how big Instagram would be. It's like, dude, no one can find you.
I found you today.
She found you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she did.
All right. Yeah.
Well, Ian, again, thank you for this.
So good.
So amazing. And thank you for coming in and taking time out of your super busy schedule.
Well, thank you for having me. It was fun. Great
so lovely to meet you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yay.
That's it. Thanks for listening to Left Unsupervised. Don't forget to stalk us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Left Unsupervised Podcast. We'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for listening.